Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Hager number 330L US10B. This is an oil rub bronze privacy function sliding door latch is what it is. So these are considered combination units where they're going to provide three functions. They're going to provide the ability to be an edge pole. They're going to provide the ability to be a flush pole, okay, and the ability to provide a privacy function, okay. Very typical and common. You're going to see these in residential applications primarily, sometimes commercial applications, but keep in mind these are certainly not handicap compliant. Completely different sort of item you'd need if handicap compliance was required for a sliding door or pocket door pull. Feel free to reach out to us. We can help you with that. But in the realm of the combination sort of pocket door privacy set that you're going to see, Hager offers this in different finishes. Oil rub bronze, that's the 10B part of the part number. Polished chrome, as well as satin chrome, as well as polished brass on that. I'm also tempted to say that they might have an antique oxidized bronze as well. Looking that up. Apparently not. So oil rubbed, polished chrome, satin chrome, polished brass. That's what you're looking at. Very nice quality unit. There's no question about that. This is intended specifically for 1 3/8 doors. This is not the proper model. If you have an 1 3/4 door, you're going to need a different unit for that, of which Hager can provide. That item is not the L version, but it's the M version. So you're looking at a 330M, which is interesting because they list that available in additional finishes. And I can't explain why. They have the 1 3/4 version available in satin nickel, antique nickel, black, as well as antique brass. I don't know the mystery of that. Really, the difference is the length of the pin that's here, that silver pin you see, with an 1 3/4 door that must be longer. And it must be that you cannot field convert that. It must be that that pin is held in there with splines on it, and it's probably tapped in so that it's captive inside of that holder that's there. So I don't believe that it would be impossible for you to be able to actually make that work. But if you have an 1 3/4 door, order the right 330M version of the privacy function. Now, installing these are dreadfully simple in terms of how to go about, understanding how to prep for them. It's basically a notch that's in the edge of the door. That's simply what it is. In the frame, it's a strike plate, and of course the strike plate is included. It's very thin. It's generally mortised, although some people will surface mount it because it's such a thin piece of material. There is a link below this video to a document called Installation Instructions. Those are included with your package. Very simple and straightforward. Page 1 is going to give a listing of all of the items, the dimensional properties of the unit itself. Let's just touch on that now. 2 3/4 tall is what they have this at, and then an overall width is going to be 2.5 inch. Okay, that all makes sense. That all matches. Page 2 of the installation instructions are the business end of what you have to do. So you can see that you've got a notch in the edge of the door, 1 7/8 wide by 2 5/16 tall. I generally will always prefer to use a router when I'm doing that because I can get such a clean sort of preparation that even though you've got to make multiple passes with your plunge router, when you're done, the prep is very clean, very straightforward. Probably don't even have to square the corners out at all because of the treatment inside of here. There's really nothing so tight there that you'll have to square those corners out. Probably just get away with leaving the corners radiused and maybe a little bit of squaring out on those inside corners. Before you prep the door, if it's not already prepped, and frankly people will sometimes just buy these because they're changing the color of the hardware in the home, the hinges, the lock sets, and all the other associated pieces of hardware, stops and whatnot. So people will buy these for that purpose. But if you're doing a new installation, you'll want to, prior to mortising the preparation in the edge of the door, take an audit of the rest of the doors. Be sure to match everything. The logic is this: if you've got a long hallway, you'll want to be sure that all the lock heights are the same so that it all looks like it blends in together down that long hallway. Just a word to the wise, you'll just probably want to match whatever is already there so that it looks like it belongs. Step 1, make the notch. Step 2, no problem. You're going to have, in step 3, the reference to these screw holes. You're going to loosen this screw and this screw, and these two plates will just come apart and telescope out. You'll slide that over the opening, tighten those screws up, but before you do that, you're going to mark and pre-drill these screws. Now, when I put these in, you just pretty much go straight in. You don't want to go in on a bad angle where you're going to push this back out. Just go really straight. You want to drill that pre-drill that hole nice and straight. Screws, of which there are a total of 4. 2 are going to be as shown in step 3. The other 2 are going to be for the strike. Now, the important part is this: the center line of the preparation on the door is the same device center line on the frame. You'll just need to adjust your math to account for whatever you're measuring from. If you're going from the top of the door and it's a pocket, you're going to have to come up with the commiserate dimension on the frame as well, so that it all is compatible. The strike, the hole is not in the center. It's not symmetrical. The installation instructions show the smaller portion up here towards the top, and that does make sense because when that privacy function is thrown, that hook comes down and falls towards the bottom of it, and that's why you'll have the larger amount of metal towards the bottom of the frame. Pre-drill the hole, mortise it. Mortising it would be the way to proceed. It might be tough getting a route around there if you're already if the frame is existing. You might choose to do that by hand. Obviously, you might have to reverse the handing of the unit. That is certainly not a problem. You'll remove the screws as shown in the bottom and basically just take the 2 plates and flip it over. Now, that pin, as I mentioned earlier, is captive, but there are 2 cams or tail pieces back here that just have a bird's mouth, and when you pull the parts over and you flip them around, that's okay because the bird's mouth will just sit right over that pin again, not causing you any trouble. You won't lose the pin is what I'm trying to say. That brings a conclusion to the review of the installation instructions. Simple and straightforward. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up the Hager full-line product catalog. Now, Hager is a company that provides, this would be considered trim and auxiliary hardware, is the category. And in this category, they're going to have commercial and residential door stops, kick plates, push and pull hardware, things of that nature. But that's only the very small portion of everything that Hager does. Weather stripping, sliding door hardware, they can sell you the track and hangers for this as well. Lock sets, exit devices, door closers, continuous geared aluminum hinges, weather stripping if I've not already said that. But it's their namesake, Hager Hinge. That's what they're most widely known for. Everything as it pertains to commercial, institutional, architectural, residential hinges, complete product offering when it comes to hinges. If you have any questions on the Hager 330L and a US10B, oil rub bronze, pocket door privacy latch, or any other Hager product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.